Jailbreak Trading is considered one of the most controversial updates out of Jailbreak's 9-year history. It was once seen as an update that pretty much eliminated the fear of missing out business tactic. The developers have made changes throughout its history to make it a more tolerable environment to play in, but over the years, the cons have started to outweigh the pros. Many players have blamed this single update to be the cause of many issues that we see today. Let's talk about its 4-year history, the hype surrounding the update, and how far it's fallen since. Just over 4 years ago, June 1st, 2022, the official Bedemo Twitter account made the announcement that trading was officially coming to the game. This brought in a lot of hype as players who never got to play Jailbreak in its early days could now obtain items they missed. Rare items like the spinner rims, beam hybrid, and even the torpedo were finally able to be obtained by new players. Many were excited to finally obtain these highly collectible items for themselves, with the official launch being the 10th of June, 2022. Players could not wait to check out this highly requested feature of the game. After its initial launch, players were very happy to finally have their dream setup. Players who originally never could obtain items like the spinner rims and the torpedo now could. It was a whole new era for the game, and its players. But things would start to change as time continued. Near the end of the month, Bedemo announced two things, one of which had a major impact to the recently launched Trade Island. The first edition was the first limited vehicle to release after the trading update, the other being a brand new vehicle body color, hyperchromes. Hyperchromes are vehicle cosmetics that are awarded from robbing a certain robbery and either getting it by luck or by pity. There are 5 levels for each individual hyperchrome, with level 1 being the easiest and level 5 being the hardest. This update was a game changer as players could profit from grinding hyperchromes, or they could choose to grind for the very rare and seemingly impossible to get hypership color, the first and only shifting body color. As time went on, an economy for the game was settled. Many players originally used the Brule value system as it was a somewhat common and an easy vehicle to base values around, but this would later be thrown out for a more simple value system, cash value. This value system put more desirable items like higher level hyperchromes, rare vehicles like the torpedo and beam hybrid, and rare cosmetics like checkers and vanablack near the top, pulling tens of millions of dollars in value, with hypers being in the hundreds of millions. This would also mark the start of value lists such as Jibby values. Around this time, duplicating items like the torpedo and level 5 hyperchromes became quite popular. So popular, in fact, it started a fear in items that had been traded 49 times. Duplicating items often marked affected items at 49 times traded, so players simply avoided taking the risk on an item that had been traded over 49 times, as they were worth less than normal items. In August of 2022, safe trading was made possible as they were revamped with new prizes and a whole new system. Many people were finally able to gift safes again. However, just over a year later, this was claimed to be abused by Asimo 3089 and removed from the game. The real reason is still unknown to this day, although it should be noted that there were players that were banned for spam trading during this time. This wasn't adjusted until a future update where there was a cooldown between trades was implemented. This wasn't the only thing that would be tampered in the world of trading. The times traded feature was changed to monthly unique in July of 2023 to represent the amount of fluctuating copies rather than how many times an item was specifically traded. This one change made players understand that just because an item was traded a set amount of times didn't mean that it was a duplicate. Instead, if there was a limited item that was not a radiant body color that had multiple copies under the same username, it was duped. Over time, other value sites like Jailbreak Trading Network, along with JB Values, started implementing dupe checkers to help traders know if the item they were looking at was clean or duped. The most popular items during this time were the torpedo, beam hybrid, and hyper level 5s, so they were the main targets for duping, with many level 5 hyperchromes being worth amounts of over 150 million value throughout 2023. there was no doubt they would be duped to oblivion. Trading had barely been up for a year and it was already having issues. Fighting exploiters by patching dupe methods and safe trading, players were being paranoid over a simple times trading feature. There was a lot going on that really shook up the trading scene. Though the exploiter battle would continue to be fought as many exploiters sought out newly released limited vehicles, stacking them up on holding accounts, then trading them and or selling them on the black market for real money. This has been an ongoing battle that the developers have been actively fighting against to help keep the economy in check, though it seems the exploiters are not backing down without a fight. There were also many dupe methods that were used throughout 2022 and 2023, inflating the quantity of once rare items, though more issues would appear throughout 2023 and 2024. Nothing drastic changes throughout 2024. The last major change was the addition of infinite rocket fuel in the drag strip, which allowed for easier speed tests and other fun activities not possible in the main game. Though that doesn't mean things weren't shaking up within the trading community. Manipulation started becoming an issue. Manipulation is a strategy where people, especially those on the wealthy side, try to control the price of something through supply and demand. Many players would hoard items to make an item circulation low, causing panic, therefore driving up the price and demand as players swarmed to get said item. Then the hoarders would unload their supply, profiting off the players who were looking for the item, driving the price down. Manipulation doesn't always work this way though. It can also be used to drive a price down, then attempt to get the item for a lowball price, then drive the price back up. It really upset many regular players who just couldn't afford to do things like this. It benefited the rich while punishing the poor. An example of this would be the manipulation of the torpedo earlier this year. It was worth almost 50 million, then it suddenly dropped to just below 30 million, throughout the span of a couple of days. Sure, items rise and fall all the time, the torpedo being no different. But many regular traders accused hoarders for manipulating just so they could get a quick buck out of it. Looking at graphs across some of these trading websites, it can be noted that the torpedo spiked and dipped a lot more than usual, hence the accusation towards the hoarders were warranted. There were other developments since 2024 as there was an increase in OG scamming, beaming, and black markets. Many players were suddenly losing their inventories worth hundreds of millions or even billions in value, all while having no clue how it happened. Some of my friends also fell victim to this as they lost billions of value and losing millions of cash overnight, with other content creators also being affected by this. On top of that, many of these stolen items are then sold on the black market for real money to unsuspecting players who are looking to buy an item for real money, who may not know the background of said item. There is also a very noticeable increase in exploiting to then trade off or sell things like hyperchromes and other limited items. This has led to an overabundance of limited items that probably could have been more rare had exploiters simply never existed or weren't near as problematic. Unfortunately, these exploiters would never go away as long as the game keeps being profitable. In May of 2026, Fedima would implement new requirements to join the trade world. The player must have a verified phone number and their account must have played Jailbreak 30 days or more to join. They've made this change to help prevent bad actors from using throwaway accounts, though this didn't completely stop them from continuing to play the game. It helped soften the blow of the economy, though it isn't enough to completely stop them or discourage them from doing these horrible things in the first place. Many choose to do these things because it's so profitable. It's why many games like Adopt Me and Pet Simulator have large black markets. They are very popular games where their game is more heavily revolved around trading, and their audience is younger, therefore they have easier targets. To top it off, some games like Pet Simulator have little to no trading rules to prevent these things from happening, which is why I believe action should be taken to fix these issues from getting too out of hand. Looking at trading now, there's still some things that can be added to help discourage bad actors from abusing the trading system. Many players have made suggestions across social media to help spread awareness of the issues for the benefit of the game. There have been suggestions to input a pin to complete trades, making it very difficult to trade off items from a hacked account. I think there should be more protection for those who do end up getting hacked despite taking all of the appropriate measures. There's also been the idea to just simply remove trading, but I don't think it's that simple. Sure, other games have done it before, and it would fix many of the current issues we see, but I don't think that would be the right move for Jailbreak. If there's anything you think that would help prevent or minimize the damage these actors can cause, drop a comment. Maybe Asimo will continue to look into this in the near future. These events have all led to many players in the community to believe that trading in Jailbreak just didn't work. So many issues have affected innocent players to the point where many have decided to leave the game entirely. Trading in Jailbreak is not dead by any means, but it's definitely getting worse as time goes on, as exploiters, manipulators, and other rule breakers continue to run rampant throughout Jailbreak with no consequences for their actions. It was a great idea on paper, but it wasn't executed very well. Time will tell what the future holds for Jailbreak Trading. If you enjoyed these types of videos, comment down below what you'd like to see. Thanks for watching.